Hey there, future fellow weirdo of the flock! Welcome! Haha! Do not worry, you are not lost. You are in the party band! Haha! Woo!
And what we do here in this most magnificent place, we read this great ass book. It's called God Said, because he did not fucking say that. This is God's unofficial biography, Das Bible, as read by yours truly, the Saint of Awesome, your Superstone Sage, Saint Nikki K. the Great. Clap for me, I clap for you. Welcome. Listen, from this point forward, watch on 2 times speed. I would greatly appreciate it, and so would you. It's way better on 2 times speed. Yeah. So, let's get our household ready. Wait, what are we doing? We are doing this. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah. Bam! That's what we're doing. So, we are going to do this. Yeah, there we go. So, we are in the book of Genesis. And I have no idea what happened. I'm just kidding. I probably know. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The older brothers, got really jealous of Joe. Got really jealous of Joe. So he's really jealous, or they're all all 10 of them are really jealous of Joe. So they plot to kill him, which is stupid, but they plot to kill him. But Judah told them, like, don't do that because that's a really bad idea. So they go to, um, who do they go to? Wait, okay. I'm really confused. Wait, 10 of Jacob's sons are jealous of Joseph, right? But Joseph is a tattletale and he does tell on them for everything. So uh they're a bit fuckered up and really mad at him. But also jealous because Jacob loves him more than them. So they're mad about that. So they make a plan to kill him. But uh Reuben, the oldest, told them not to. Right? He's like, there's got to be a different way. We'll just scare the shit out of him and take him back. But the other brothers are like, no, fuck this guy. He's a tattletale and he's not. No, he's got to go somewhere. So they decide to sell him into slavery. So an Egyptian bought Joe and took him back to the Pharaoh. Okay. Then they take Joe's rainbow tunic and they covered it in blood and said he was ate to death. So Jacob believes Joseph was ate to death. And he's highly inconsolable, like literally inconsolable. And now he thinks he's going to die lonely because his only son with Rachel died. Okay. So that's where we left off and where we will be picking up. So, if you want to know what else happened, come this way. I have cigarettes. I have cannabis. I have coffee. I have a chair with your name on it. And I have cat beds and canine space. So you can bring your animals because I love them. So, come on this way. Yeah. So we are on chapter 38 of Genesis. And it came to pass at that time that Judah departed from his brothers and visited a certain woman whose name was Hera. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite woman whose name was Shua. And he married her and went into her. And she conceived and bore and named himself, or she named him like Er. And she conceived again and bore a son, and his name was Onan. There is a comedy song called Onan the Great. And this was the first Bible story I ever told Dustin because it's fucking amazing. It really, it's amazing on multiple fronts. Like, if you're like, oh, this dude is so smart. Yeah. And then the other part, like, man, God did that. Then, then on the other hand, like, he could have put it on her back. But anyway, I just want to tell you there's a comedy song called Onan the Great. And it's amazing. It's the funniest song. It's very accurate and very inaccurate at the same time. Okay. And she named him Onan. And she conceived again and bore a son and named himself Shelah. He didn't name himself that. They named him Shelah. Uh, and he was at Chezib when she bore him. Then Judah took a wife for and his firstborn took a wife for his firstborn, and her name was Tamar. But was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord killed him. And Judah said to Onan, you need to handle Bi. I need a grandson or something. But I mean, you know the rules. You got to take up uh, for your brother. You got to marry his wife. It's like a thing that's happening. And Onan don't want no part of this at all. Okay, he's like, I'm a little bit, and I might be a little bit more. I don't want to have sex with a girl. And Judah's like, you have to have sex with a girl because you can't have sex with a guy because these rules made up by the patriarchy said you can't do that, you know. So you can't do that, and I need a grandbaby. So Onan went to do his BI, right? And he's like, get this over with. Oh my god, I'm about to. And his pullout game was tough. And his splooge hit the floor. And God killed him dead. Yeah, it was a thing that happened. And there's a comedy song about it called Onan the Great. In case you want to hear a comedy song. Um, then Judah said to Tamar, his daughter in law, remain a widow uh, in your father's house till my son Shelah is grown. For he had said, lest he also die like his brothers. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. So he thinks Tamar's got that haunted punani. Now, in the process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died, and Judah was comforted and went to the sheep shearers at Timnah. And he and his friend Hara, the Adulamite. And it was told to Tamar, saying, he's up there, dude. He's looking for some. So she dressed herself like a hose bag. And she went up to him and he was like, ooh, yeah, I'll go ahead. My wife is dead. And he's like, what do you want? And she's like, everything you have. Plus a goat when goats come. Yeah. You can just owe me the goat, but I want the rest of it. Yeah, it's gonna be good. So he does the damn thing and she gets pregnant. Now, somebody told Abraham that the chick was pregnant. Judah, not Abraham. Judah. Somebody tells Judah that the girl is pregnant. And he's like, bring her here. We're gonna do stuff and roar. Yeah. So he brings her there and he's like, accusing you of stuff. Yeah, you're pregnant and whatnot. And he's like, who did this? And she's like, I got everything of his. I'll give it to you. And she laid it in front of him and it was all his stuff. And he's like, what did I do? Uh, yeah, bring her out and then stuff. Um, so Judah acknowledged them and said, she has been more righteous than I, because I did not give her to Shelah my son. And he never knew her again. Now it came time for giving birth, and behold, twins were in her womb. And it was when she was giving birth that one put out his hand, and the midwife took a scarlet thread and put it around his hand, saying, this one came out first. And then he withdrew his hand, and the other one came out. And she said, how did you break through? Is this breach be upon you? Therefore, his name was called Perez. Afterwards, his brother came out who had been first, and his name was called Zira. Yeah. Hello, welcome. Welcome. I can't see my chat, so I can't see your name. Hold on one second, okay? And I will get to you. Let's see. Zero, zero, or the loser. Oh, you're not a loser. I don't know if I want this, but I would like you. Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I want this sticker because that's Jesus. Oh, I love that so much. I just totally took this from you because my God, that's fucking amazing. That Jesus picture that you have right there. Oh my God, I love that more than life. Oh, that is so amazing. Look, did you see me save it? I saved it right there. Bam. That is the best shit ever. Yeah. And then I got one for when Jesus gets out of his car. Bam. He gets out of his car and puts on his sunglasses. Bam. I got a badass spaceship and badass sunglasses. Look at you, man. Fucking amazing. Yeah. But hi, I am the sage, Nikki K the Great. Well, I am the sage and also a saint. I'm the saint of awesome because I named myself that. Anyway, welcome. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying yourself because okay, we're on chapter 39, but we're going to take a smoke break real quick because reasons. Well, because I need to smoke a cigarette. I thought I had one, but I guess not. So, did you even stay, friend? Oh, oh, he might not have stayed. That's sad. Well, it's okay. Words and things. It's totally okay. Yep. Well, why isn't this working? Okay. Okay. So now we're on chapter 39. How long are we? To only 20 minutes. Wow. I tell stories really fast. Damn, maybe I should start being. Well, I could be faster, I guess. But I don't know a lot of these stories by heart. Well, I know some of them by heart, but there's some of them I don't know. Well, some of them I don't know the beginning of. Or in other ones I don't know the ending of. But I try to follow where I'm at in the story sometimes. Oh, but this is a good story. This is a good one. Yep. Now, Joseph had been taken down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him from the Ishmaelites. Oh, damn. Had bought him. from the Ishmaelites who had taken him down there. The Lord was with Joe, and he was a successful man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. And his master saw the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all he did prosper in his hand. Damn it, prosper. So Joe found favor in his sight and served him. Then he made him an overseer of his house and all that he had. He put under Joe's authority. So it was from the time that he had made him overseer of his house that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joe's sake. Uh, for Joe's sake. And the blessing of the Lord was on all that he had in the house and in the field. Oh my God. God just did Joe right. And Potiphar noticed it. Okay. And Joe was handsome in form and appearance. So Joe was like Fabio, old school Fabio. Actually, I don't even know what Fabio looks like now. I bet he's a sexy old man. I don't know. But he was a handsome looking dude. Yeah. So Joe was looking so good that um he was looking so good that the wifey wanted some. So Potiphar went on a trip or whatever, and dude's wife kept like hitting on Joe, feeling him up, you're so beautiful. And Joe turned her down every single time. So this one time, hold on, Miss Mud Duck. I gotta make you bigger. Hold on, okay? I gotta make you bigger because I can't see. Hold on, give me uno momento. Wait, please. Because I've been missing you all of my life. I needed to know you were okay. Okay. Sorry for this week. I have been so busy, tired with a headache. I just wanted to make sure you were okay, Miss Muddy. No, I needed to make that way bigger. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, Miss Muddy, I want to tell you that I had to quit reading the fantasy novel because it was just making me very mad. So, what I did do was I started reading the New Testament in the afternoon, but I'm going to restart it because I'm not going to talk so much shit. Probably. Because I need to learn to be a nicer person. But I'm still going to be a smartass because I still hate the apostles. But I'm not going to be so bad. And I love you. And I really do hope you feel better. I was wondering if your hubby was okay. I was like, she would disappear if her husband wasn't okay. It is a good idea, I think. It might be the best idea I ever had. Hold on. Something happened. Okay. Oh, I disconnected and reconnected. I don't know how the fuck that happened. But okay. I don't know what the hell just happened. I don't want to raid anybody. What is happening? Okay. Okay. Oh, maybe the warrior in the garden is. I don't know. But what'd you say over here? Love you too. He's doing well. Okay. Good. So we're going to get on to. Oh, yeah. We left off. Uh, Potiphar's wife was hitting on Joseph repeatedly. Then one day she cornered him and grabbed him by the belt. And Joe was like, skirt, and ran off. And then she claimed that, um, she claimed that Joe was a raid is a good thing sometimes. Yeah. One day we'll get a raid of actual people. Hold on. Okay. So she said that Joe raped her. So, uh, so it was when the master heard this, which his wife said, uh, he tried to rep at me. His anger was aroused. Then Joseph took him and put him in prison, a place where the king's prisoners were confined. And there he was in the prison. But the Lord was with Joe and showed him mercy, and he gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. And the keeper of the prison committed Joe to all the prisoners who were in the prison. Whatever they did there, it was his doing. The keeper of the prison did not look into anything uh, that was under Joe's authority because the Lord was with him, and whatever he did, the Lord made prosper. Yeah, that did happen. So, we're going on to chapter 40. Let's smoke this joint. Okay. What's happening? Yeah, like what is happening? Hold on. Okay. Oh my God, what's happening? What is happening? Okay. Okay. Am I? Oh my God. Speaking of Facebook, Miss Muddy or uh, Miss Mud Duck, you're still here, right? I don't know. Okay. Well, I'm gonna assume it's working. So, Miss Mud Duck, are you still here? I don't know what's happening. Okay, good. Because my stream keeps going out on Pilled. Do you see it over there? It keeps going out and like coming back in. I don't know what's happening. Okay, we're going on to chapter 40. And it came to pass after this that the butler and the baker of the king defended their lord, the king of Egypt. And Pharaoh was angry with his two officers, the chief butler and baker. So he put them in custody in the house of the captain of the guard in the prison, the place where Joe was confined. And the captain of the guard charged Joe. Sorry, baker and the king of Egypt. Okay, he charged Joseph with him and he served them. So they were in the custody for a while. Okay. Okay. So then the butler and the baker both had dreams. And they were of birds and baskets and grape fields and like these big, elaborate dreams that freaked them out. So they were like all freaked out and shit. And they were like, oh my God, we don't know what to do. So they was like really fucking sad. And Joe saw him and was like, what's up, dudes? Yeah, let's have a good time. It's breakfast. And they was like, no, 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 we don't want to eat. And he's like, no, it's better than gruel. It's like gruel with some sugar. And they're like, no, we don't want that, dude. And he's like, what's up? And they're like, well, we had these dreams and they were kind of freaky. They were very elaborate. And Joe's like, well, tell me your dream. And the baker was like, there was bread, and then the birds ate the bread. I don't want the birds to eat the bread. I want to give the Pharaoh the bread. And then the other one was like, I had a dream about a vineyard and there was wine and like it was like perfect wine. It was perfect. And Joe's like, well, one of you is going to die and the other one of you is going to live. I don't know who's who. But when this comes to pass, don't forget about me because I was nice to you. I even gave you gruel with sugar, which makes it better. I tried it once and they was like better, but not better. Okay. Okay. So, yeah. Now it came to pass on the third day, which was the Pharaoh's birthday, okay, that he made a feast for all his servants and lifted up the head of the butler and the chief baker among his servants. Then he restored the butler to his job, and then he hanged the chief baker as Joseph had interpreted him. But the chief butler forgot about Joe. Okay, so that was that. So, Miss Muddy, I know you have a headache, but are you enjoying these stories? Or do you think we should? I mean, like, I don't know. Just maybe stick to afternoon streams, like 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock, maybe even 4 o'clock. What about 4 o'clock? Or is 4 o'clock too busy for you? Okay. I've been getting a lot more insecure lately. I don't even know why, but I've just been feeling some kind of way about stuff. I don't know. Okay. So, we're at 40 minutes. 41. Okay. So, chapter 41, Pharaoh had a super stupid elaborate dream. Okay. He stood at the river. Suddenly, there came up out of the river. Oh, yeah, okay. So the Pharaoh has this dream, okay, about when I'm at work. I can't promise. Let me read this. Hold on one second. Can't promise we people come in. Right. But I know you watch on replay crew. So if I did them at 4 in the afternoon, you would be able to watch it replay while you're cooking dinner, right? Something like that. Or do you like staying up this late? And I know you're mostly here only to support this thing that we're trying to do, but like you are a very big important part of my streams. You may not know why you're important, but you were the first person to ever watch one of my streams. So you're like highly important and your opinion matters. Okay. So anyway, Pharaoh had a dream about 7 emaciated cows, right? And 7 fat cows. But the emaciated cows ate the fat cows and it didn't even change them any. I know you do, Miss Muddy. Uh, and then, like, he had a dream about cows and corn, and it was always 7 skinny eating 7 fat and remaining skinny. I don't know what's happening. And nobody could tell him what it meant. And then the chief butler remembered Joe down there in prison and was like, this guy can do this no problem because he told me all about uh the whole butler thing. You know, he told me about it and it came true. So maybe he can help you. So then the Pharaoh's son called Joe, and everybody was like, take a bath and shave your face and look presentable because the Pharaoh wants to see you. Right? So that's what happened. And Joe came to the Pharaoh, and Pharaoh was like, dream. And Joe was like, dream indeed. And the Pharaoh's like, yeah. And Joe's like, tell me about it. Um, so Joe's like, listen, I'm going to answer you, but it's going to be from God, not from me. So just keep that in mind. Okay. And then the Pharaoh tells him about the fat cows and the skinny cows and the ears of corn and all. He tells him the whole thing. Then Joe said, God's going to show you what he's going to do. Listen, there's going to be a famine for 7 years, but you got 7 years to prepare for it. So there's that. Good years. And but after them, Okay. Good and plenty years are going to come first. So those are going to come first. Again, you have to prepare. And the dream was repeated to Pharaoh twice because the thing is established by God and God will surely bring it to pass. Okay. Now, four, let Pharaoh select a discerning and wise man and set him over the land of Egypt. Do this so he can appoint officers for the land to collect 1/5 of the produce of the land of Egypt for 7 plentiful years. Let them gather all the food of those good years, the coming, and store them up under the authority of Pharaoh. And let them keep food in the cities. That food shall be a reserve for the land for the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, the land that may not perish during the famine. So the advice was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said, can we find someone like this? Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, okay, well, why don't you do it? You do it. You be over everything. You are in charge, but you're not taking over the Pharaoh. But you're in charge of all of this stuff as if you were the Pharaoh. This is your job, dude. Then Pharaoh took his signet ring off his hand and put it on Joe and clothed him in garments of linen and put a gold chain around his neck. Then he made him ride in the second chariot which he had, and they cried before him, bow the knee. So he set him over the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, I am the Pharaoh, but without your consent, no man lift his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. And then Pharaoh renamed Joe to Zephaniah, and he gave him as a wife Asenath, the daughter of Panashira, priest of On. So Joe went out over all the land of Egypt. Joe was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, and Joe went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt. Now, in the 7 plentiful years, the ground was and went throughout the land of Egypt. Now, in the 7 plentiful years, uh, the ground brought forth abundantly. So he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities, and laid up in every city the food of the fields which was surrounded them. And Joe gathered very much grain, as the sand of the sea, until he stopped counting, for it was immeasurable. And then Joe had 2 sons before the years of the famine came. from Asenath, uh, be, uh, daughter. And Joseph called the first one Manasseh. For God has made me forget all my toil of my father's house. And the second was Ephraim. For the Lord has caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. Then the 7 years of plenty which were in the land of Egypt ended, and the 7 years of famine began, as Joseph had said. The famine was in all the lands, but all the land of Egypt there was bread. So when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. Then the Pharaoh said, "Go to Joseph. He'll give you whatever you need." So Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold to the Egyptians. And the famine became severe. So all countries came to Joe to buy grain because of the famine was severe in all lands. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, there's that. So we start a new part of this book tomorrow. So I hope everyone had a good time listening to these wild stories. It's going to be amazing. Anyway, thank you for coming. I want to tell you it's time to give the pillow some head. Put some lipstick on, put a ring on it, get it all over your face, and then give the sheets the best ass on the planet and have the sweetest dreams ever. Good night. Good night, Miss Muddy. I love you. And if you're around tomorrow at 2, maybe 4, probably 2, I'll do a hangout chat so we can talk about anything if you want. That's what I was gonna do tomorrow at 2. I don't know. Let me know what you think for a second. And then I'm gonna get out of here and go to bed. Or just sit there like I'm gonna go to bed. Anyway, I know you're rolling your eyes at me. Don't worry. I know that. Mm, 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 mm. Man. Oh, anyway, you got a headache. I'll be going live tomorrow at 2. Don't worry. And you can come. I'll do a hangout stream. We'll have a good time. Okay. I love you so much. Good night. I think.